Hey everyone. So Amit, we have talked a lot about the future of e-commerce, and we have discussed multiple aspects of what the future holds. And the final piece comes out to be the crypto wallets and its integration into e-commerce, and the willingness of companies as well as people to actually use crypto in their day-to-day trading, in their day-to-day transaction, apart from just seeing crypto as an opportunity for investment, which is what it is right now in like most people's eyes. What are your thoughts on this, and how it can actually help and make e-commerce more integrated, more seamless?
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to clarify that what people call investments today or assets, instead of calling them currencies, and this point is a little bit moot because unless the coin does something, calling it an investment has no meaning, right? It's just speculation or, just gambling. So that's not really what I call investments. Investments needs to have a rate of return and what is it based on and data about it and all that stuff we've discussed many times. And it's specifically a business that can generate profit that can qualify to be an investment, right? Otherwise, there is nothing there. So cryptocurrencies or any other currency need to be used in real businesses to trade in real commodities and products and services. And until that starts to happen, that coin has no real meaning. Even if it is used to move money, and a lot of people are using it to do remittance or whatever that is, like Bitcoin, that still has meaning, right? Because that's still being used for an actual use case. People need to move money around. But otherwise, there is just, no use case or no utility. So in other words, the value of any coin has to do with its utility. And what is the value of that utility? What is the use, in other words, the use cases that it is enabling, and therefore the value that it's unlocking for any transactor in any given moment? Then, yes, does it have a store of value and what is it worth each coin? Different question. So we have to see these two things clearly. And in order to enable the whole thing to work, you treat it like any other currency. You take payments based on it. And it has a value which has to do with this, not the store of value now, but the transfer value, which makes it effectively like a stable coin that is doing transactions in the country of usage, right? Like a mileage point or any other point. You don't ask or don't get confused, what is the value of my mileage point? It depends on the airline and depends on what they are offering you for it in the marketplace. And you can have a ratio there. Once you can calculate, you know it. Oh, my Apple points or Amazon points or whatever points means, my Marriott points mean so much, in value to me, even cash value. Even if I cannot take the money out, I can spend it on those valuable services that I would otherwise spend any money on anyways. So that's how you got to think about any currency. And the notion of the wallet is just, money, any kind of money, cash, stocks, assets, NFTs, currencies of all kinds, all of those qualify, right? Now, is it liquid or not? That depends on what type of money you're talking about, right? So you create a wallet, which is called, which focuses on money as the real abstraction. Now it can answer questions as to which currencies and which, countries and which NFTs and blockchains do you want to support? But it's a question of utility, right? What am I offering to my customers? And what am I actually doing with this in the real world? And does it really make sense to that community and users and so on? And if it does, then it's a business on its own immediately.
Yeah, that's true. So integrating cryptos would also have some sort of benefit in the transaction time. So it might remove altogether the requirement of bank or a requirement of a payment processor in between. So that is something that people would also look forward to. It's an add-on.
It's like this, you can put your Bitcoin, for example, or cryptos, in a hard wallet, what is called as a hardware wallet, like a, that you can put it on a USB stick, for example.
Okay, yeah.
Right? You understand, right? You can keep your Bitcoin on a USB stick.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the custodial wallet, right? Now, tell me really, if you're going to keep your money, all your rupees under your bed, and say that I'm the custodian of my own cash. Is that something that we should do? Is that something that we expect human beings to now become banks and actually hold on to their own money and to keep it under the mattress or whatever it is? Because
No,
what is the use? You see, what is the use of that? Other than saying I'm holding on to my own money, it has no meaning. Money at rest does not generate value. Money has to be in motion, which means that kinetic value, money at rest, money at motion. So if you want to make money, and more money makes money. How? Not by keeping it in the bank and earning some ridiculous small amount of money. No, it has to be put into motion. And that is the real value of money. So will it be inside of your own crypto wallet, or will you need a bank or not? These questions are they miss the point. It's like saying I'll go back and become early man now, and I will do everything on my own. I'll dig my own thing, and it's like that's not the future. The future is more interconnectedness and more working together and more collaboration, which means money doesn't have to sit in my wallet. It can sit anywhere where it needs to be, as long as it's secure and understands whose money and all these things, right? It is not about holding on to it in a way that's today's model. Today's model is highly egocentric and highly self-centric and highly platform-centric and highly I will hold custody and let's go back to basics and I don't trust anybody and we're going to burn everything down and rebuild, and then what after that? Are we all going to be just back to the old world of doing everything on our own and going? That's no, there's going to be multiple layers of value co-creation that you're going to use and rely upon, which means new structures. It doesn't mean that so this is what it is. You see, it's just making these transitions possible, and these new models possible requires not just this underlying hardware stuff, but it also requires collaborative software. It requires ways to track how people are actually working together in transparent ways across the internet, across businesses, across platforms, countries, currencies, and cultures. So the wallet is, incidental. And yes, of course, you should have a wallet and it should include crypto, but it's such a small, minor thing. And it's when you view the world in a clear manner, then these things are simply applied internet, right? Internetwork. Everything should just work. Yes, of course, you should have a wallet, and of course, all currencies and all things should be unlocked there. You don't think in terms of lock-ins. You don't think in terms of blockchains and specific stuff. It should work, and at an abstract level, it should work. It should work at the internet scale, which means what? It needs to have its own clear rails and clear abstractions.
Definitely. Like I totally agree with that. And like when we see, let's say a decade from now, or like the transition from right now where we are in terms of e-commerce and where we see ourselves in like 10 years down the line, the future, we hold a lot more interconnectivity. We expect a lot more peer-to-peer transactions. We expect a lot more internetwork things where it's easier to move from one place to another. It's easier to stay connected with each and everyone, and it doesn't feel like a hustle, which it happens right now.
So the thing is, it's not going to be peer-to-peer in the sense that everyone's suddenly going to go and do direct trade with everybody else. It's going to be facilitated by other people. So it's peer-to-peer to peer-to-peer. It's not peer-to-peer. Okay. So it means it is multiple people collaborating and doing community commerce with multiple payouts and pay-ins in any given transaction. You see, this is called community commerce. Right. Truly social commerce, right? Requires you to do all of these things. It is that entire chain of commerce that is actually has to be facilitated and made possible at every single time, because it's not an individual peer-to-peer transaction. My mom's not going to wake up and go and talk to the farmer on the other side of the world and say, let's do some direct trades. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be through a chain of trusted people, and she doesn't have to know the endpoint, but she can trust it through the people. Right? So this is what we need to enable and see clearly that it's not nothing new. It's the same old model from 0 BC or whatever, which started, markets, civilization.
Awesome.
So that's it. I think that's,
Yeah.
Maybe we should call it civil commerce, you're civil with other people. Civilized commerce. How's
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Commerce for
Civilized commerce.
civilizations, civilized people, commerce for civilized people on the internet.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I
All right.
think it's an exciting future to be doing in e-commerce, and like very looking forward way too much to be shopping in the future.
It's going to be fun.
Thanks, Amit. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you. All right.